Hey guys, it's Misty. Welcome back to another Foodie Friday. Today I'm showing you my take on an Italian stuffed flank steak recipe that I found on Pinterest. I'm going to start out with basically a whole head of garlic that I have minced really fine. Then I have a large shallot that I've diced. And then I have about a couple of sprigs of sage and a couple of sprigs of basil that I have chiffonade and cut up. And I'm going to place it in the world's smallest container. Make sure you put this in a bigger bowl. I don't know what I was thinking. I think because the first time I made this, I didn't use quite as many herbs, but we really love this mixture. So I made sure we had enough and extra, and then I didn't compensate with a bigger bowl. But I'm gonna put this in this bowl, and then I'm gonna set it to the side. We're gonna come back to this later once we get ready to put the rest of our items on. And I have some prosciutto and some provolone that's off to the side that I've taken out. I'm ready to go. That way I don't cross-contaminate anything. So whatever is left over will go in the trash if I've touched it after I've touched the meat. So here is my flank steak. This is my vacuum sealed package. I buy in bulk, meat in bulk at Sam, flash freeze it, and then vacuum seal it. I'm going to make sure that I dry it really well because I don't want it to be wet when it hits the pan. Now I'm about to make a grievous error. I'm going to trim this up, and I suggest that you don't because it made rolling and cutting very hard. So you're going to want to pound it out thin, but you really don't need to cut it up. So here you go. I really lost some surface area, and I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons, almost up to a half a cup of olive oil because you want this to be more paste-like. And then of course I'm going to salt and pepper my steak, and then I'm gonna add the spice mixture. This mixture is so good. It would be good on anything, but it is so good. I think I could probably eat it with a spoon if I cooked it a little bit. So after I put that down, I'm gonna put down some sliced provolone. You can use mozzarella or whatever if you want to, but we prefer the provolone, and that's how it's written in the original recipe. Then I'm gonna put down some prosciutto. I buy my prosciutto at Costco because I love to eat it. I mean, before keto and I was watching protein, I would eat a whole container for a snack. So once I roll that up, I'm going to take some kitchen twine that I pick up at Target, and I'm just going to do like a knot, like I would tie my shoes, but instead of a bow, I'm tying it in the knot. And I'm trying to space these out as evenly as I can. You'll see in just a couple of seconds that I go back and I measure using the width of my hand. You'll see in just a minute. I know you're probably going, what is she talking about? But you really need twine for this. You could possibly get away with using a skewer, but it is, especially if you trim it like I did, it's not very easy. So there you can see I can measure it. I was measuring it, excuse me. And then once I get to the end, I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to cut all the strings. Now this is a Wusthof knife or whatever, so it's very sharp. You may need to use kitchen shears. So I am just cutting in between each of those pieces of twine that will portion out my pieces. And this end one is going to be huge and bigly. So I have an oven-proof pan here that I've put in some olive oil. This really needed more olive oil. You probably need a couple of tablespoons. I just think I did a couple of teaspoons. Honestly, I don't measure when I cook like this. I just went around probably once or twice, but you really need to cover the whole entire bottom of the pan so this doesn't stick. While this was heating, or actually while I was making this flank steak, I had the oven heated to 400, so it's ready to go for me. I'm going to cook this on the stove on this side for about 5 or 7 minutes, and then I'm going to flip it and put it in the oven. Flank steak needs to be a little bit doner than rare, but you don't want it to get so done that when you reheat it that it doesn't taste good. We didn't have as many leftovers this time as we did the last time, but it's really easy for it to go well done when you reheat it. So you can see mine sticking a little bit. You know these are ready to flip over when they have some give. Plus I was using tongs, which was silly. I needed to have a spatula. So you'll see in just a second that I switched to that. So, and then I forgot to get footage of it pulling out of the oven, but I do have footage of it plated on our plates. So it was really delicious. Just make sure you remove the twine. You can see I hadn't done that quite yet. You can serve this with the salad, with the green beans I've made in the past on this channel, asparagus. I can't even remember what we had that day, and we may have just eaten this because it's very, very filling. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Make sure you click on that video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.